A memorable studio moment I can think of, one night was at Daddy's house, and Big was there, Jay was there, of course Puff was there, and they were, Big was writing his verse for I Love the Dough. He was talking about how, like, you know, all the street stuff that, you know, the songs, you know, the street stuff, the vulgarity and everything else. But a lot of people didn't know that Big came from a very, you know, educated and intellectual background. He was saying that his next project wasn't going to be about, you know, gun violence and, you know, all of the, you know, a lot of the shit, you know, street shit. It was going to be more intellectual. We went back and forth briefly about, you know, some known educators and intellectuals, you know, that have publications out, and the room kind of, you know how things are moving around, and then, you know, you open up that portal and things start slowing down. It was just giving the inclination, like, you know, yo, Big, you know, we got to get this song done type of shit. I think, honestly, and the reason why I say it is because I think that was one of the factors involved in him not being here anymore, more so than the quote beef unquote. And you know, a lot of people say quote unquote, but technically that's incorrect, because if you go quote unquote, there's nothing in between the quotes. So that's my new thing. I say quote, and then I say whatever's quoted, and then I say unquote. It's just one of my peeves. But so yeah, I really think that, because he was in a messianic position. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's, you know, suit and tie or what have you. You know, he had the ears of the people. He had the mind. He had the people's minds, you know, and that's a very powerful thing. And to go in that direction, or to even impart to anybody that you going in that direction, you know, it brings up red flags. So yeah, that definitely was a memorable moment. That's one of the most memorable. My perspective on karma and what you put out, you get in return. I think it has been misinterpreted as karma, because the actual conception or perception or meaning of karma is the returning to life from a previous life, and, you know, basically paying your undue balances from the previous life, as opposed to what you say that's more inclined to be part of what they call the pendulum effect. If you're familiar with the Kabbalion, you know, with the 7 principles, and I'm gonna impart a secret. The secret of all the 7 principles is all just the same principle. It's you know, polarity, reciprocity, all of those different aspects are really the same principle. And yeah, I do acknowledge that, you know, the things you put out there, you know, you're not necessarily judged by them, but you're judged through them. And what I mean is, if somebody, you know, like if you smack somebody upside the head real hard, your quote karmatic or unquote or experience won't necessarily be somebody smacking you back upside your head. It may be one day you may have like a terrific headache that may be the effect, feeling like somebody smacked you upside the head in a certain tender spot on your head. In that sense, I do acknowledge that, but by definition, that's really not karma. But because it's been used that way publicly, it's been made for us to believe that that is actually the meaning of the term.